Welcome. Today, I'm going to show you a powerful mouth training technique that will help you unlock fluent English. Let's get started.
I'm Elena, your host for today's lesson. I am so happy to be here with you again. If you are new to our channel, welcome. This is a place where we talk about simple, clear, and fun ways to improve your English step by step. Today, we have a very interesting and somewhat unusual topic, which is how to train your mouth to talk. Many English learners think speaking is just about knowing words or grammar, but actually, speaking is also about physically training your mouth, your lips, and your tongue. It is just like training your body in the gym. If you want to speak English more clearly and naturally, you need to practice how your mouth moves. It is like exercise, but specifically for speaking. So, in today's episode, I'm going to show you step by step how you can train your mouth to talk better in English. We will talk about warm-ups, pronunciation practice, tongue twisters, and even daily routines you can follow. I will keep it simple and fun so you can follow along easily, even if you are just starting your English journey. Let's start with the big question of why we need to train our mouth to talk in English. It is a common frustration among learners to feel a disconnect between their brain and their mouth. You might know all the vocabulary words, you might understand the grammar rules perfectly on paper, but when you open your mouth to speak, the words stumble, or you feel like your tongue is getting tied in knots. This is not because you are not smart. And it is not because you haven't studied enough. It is simply because speaking is a physical act. Just like playing the piano or running a marathon, speaking English requires specific muscle memory. Your mouth, lips, tongue, and jaw are made of muscles. And if those muscles have been trained for 20, 30, or 40 years to speak your native language, they have developed a very strong muscle memory. They want to move in the way they have always moved. When you try to force English sounds through those old muscle habits, the result is an accent that feels heavy and speech that feels exhausting. Today, we are going to change that. We are going to treat your face like a gym. We are going to break down the specific mechanical differences between English and other languages. And I am going to guide you through a rigorous, step-by-step workout routine that will physically rewire the muscle memory of your mouth. By the end of this masterclass, you will not just understand English better, you will physically feel the difference in how you produce it. We have a lot of ground to cover, from vibration control to tongue gymnastics, from aspiration drills to the secrets of connected speech. So, please find a quiet space where you can speak out loud. Take a deep breath, and let's begin this transformation together. We must begin where every great physical performance begins, with the warm-up. You would never dream of sprinting 100 meters without stretching your hamstrings, and you should not expect your mouth to navigate the complex acrobatics of English pronunciation without waking up the muscles first. Tension is the enemy of fluency. When we are nervous about speaking, we tend to clench our jaw, tighten our lips, and pull our tongue back. This creates a muffled, small sound. We need to create a relaxed, flexible, and agile instrument. We are going to spend a few minutes right now engaging in a deep tissue warm-up for the face. I want you to start by focusing on your jaw. The jaw is where we hold a tremendous amount of stress. If your jaw is tight, English vowels, which require a lot of open space, will sound flat. I want you to slowly open your mouth as wide as you possibly can, as if you are trying to scream without making a sound. Stretch it open and hold it there for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Now slowly close it. Do not snap it shut. Control the muscle. Let's do that again. Open wide, feeling the stretch right by your ears. Hold it and release. Now, I want you to slide your jaw from side to side. Move it to the left, hold it, and then move it to the right. This loosens the hinge of the jaw and prepares it for the gliding movement of English speech. Now let's wake up the lips. English uses the lips very actively, especially for sounds like W, P, B, and F. We are going to do a lip trill. I want you to take a deep breath into your belly and blow air through your closed lips so they vibrate and make a brrr sound, like a horse or a motorboat engine. Let's do this together for 5 seconds. Ready? Brrr. If your lips itch, that means it is working. It means blood is flowing to the surface. Let's do it one more time, but this time, try to slide your pitch up and down like a siren while you do it. Brrr. Excellent. Finally, we must wake up the tongue. The tongue is the star of the show. I want you to push your tongue firmly against the inside of your left cheek. Push hard, like you are trying to poke a hole through your cheek. Now switch and push against your right cheek. Now, stick your tongue out as far as it will go, trying to touch your chin. Stretch it. Now try to touch your nose. Finally, I want you to clean your teeth with your tongue. Run your tongue in a big circle around the front of your teeth, between your lips and your gums. Go clockwise 3 times and then counterclockwise 3 times. Your mouth should feel warm, tingling, and very awake. This is the state we need to be in to learn effectively. Now that our instrument is ready, we are going to move into our first major technical module, the physics of vibration. One of the most common reasons learners struggle with clarity is that they confuse voiced and unvoiced sounds. A voiced sound uses the vocal cords to create a vibration. An unvoiced sound uses only air. If you mix these up, van becomes fan, zip becomes sip, and time becomes dime. To master this, we are going to use a physical technique I call the hand-on-throat method. I want you to take your hand and place it gently on the front of your neck, right over your vocal cords or your Adam's apple. We are going to explore the difference between the S sound and the Z sound. These two sounds are made with the exact same mouth shape. The tongue is in the same place. The lips are in the same place. The only difference is the engine in your throat. First, make a long, snake-like S sound. S. You should feel absolutely nothing happening under your hand. It should be quiet. Now, without changing your mouth shape, I want you to turn on the engine. Make a buzzing B sound. Zzz. You should feel a strong buzzing vibration against your palm. That is the voice. Many learners accidentally turn off their voice at the ends of words, so eyes sounds like ice. Let's practice this distinction with some minimal pairs. Keep your hand on your throat. When we say the first word, feel the silence. When we say the second word, feel the buzz. Sue, zoo. Bus, buzz. Price, prize. Now let's apply this to the notoriously difficult pair, F and V. The F is unvoiced. It is just air. The V is voiced. It is vibration. Keep your hand on your throat. Fan, van. Leaf, leave. Safe, save. Feel that buzz on the second word. If you don't feel it, you are not saying a V. This physical feedback is much more honest than your ears. Your ears can trick you, but your fingers will never lie. Let's move on to the second module, the tongue gym. We are going to tackle the sound that strikes fear into the hearts of learners everywhere, the TH sound. The TH is rare in the world's languages, so your tongue likely has zero muscle memory for it. It requires the tongue to protrude between the teeth. But here is the secret. Practicing the TH in isolation is easy. The real challenge is moving into and out of the TH sound from other sounds. That is where the tongue gets tied. We are going to practice a sliding drill. We are going to slide from the S sound directly into the TH sound. This requires your tongue to start behind your teeth and then slide forward between your teeth without stopping the air. Watch out for the tendency to stop breathing. Keep the air flowing. Listen to the sound. S, th. Now you try it. Slide from S to TH. S, th. Now let's try the reverse. Start with the tongue out for TH and slide it back for S. Th, s. This is a push-up for your tongue. Now let's put it into some difficult phrases where these sounds collide. This is real-world training. Something special. 6th Street. Pass the salt. Is that so? It's the same story. If you found that difficult, that is good. That means you are finding the weak point in the muscle. Repetition of these slides will build the agility you need so that in a real conversation, you won't stumble. Now, we're going to look at the third module, breath and explosions. We call this the paper test. In English, we have a group of sounds called plosives. These are P, T, and K. When a native speaker says a word starting with P, like pen, they don't just open their lips. They build up air pressure behind the lips and then release it in a tiny explosion. This is called aspiration. In many other languages, like Spanish or French, the P sound is soft and non-explosive. If you use a soft P in English, you will be understood, but you will lack that crisp, rhythmic punch that makes English sound fluent. To practice this, I want you to find a piece of paper, or just hold your hand flat, about 2 inches in front of your mouth. We are going to say the word pop. When you say the P, you should feel a distinct puff of air hitting your skin. If you don't feel the air, you are not aspirating. Try it with me. Focus on the explosion. Pop. Paper. Pack. Now let's try the T sound. The T sound in English is also explosive. Time. Table. Top. Now let's combine this into a tongue twister designed specifically for plosive training. This is the classic one, but I want you to do it with your hand in front of your mouth. Every time you say a P, verify that you feel the air. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Let's try that again, focusing purely on the explosions. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. This aspiration gives your English rhythm and energy. Without it, speech can sound flat and monotonous. We are now entering the fourth module, and this is an advanced concept that very few teachers talk about: vowel architecture and the jaw drop. If you watch native English speakers, you will notice that their jaws move quite a bit. English has many open vowels that require physical space in the mouth. A common problem is that learners keep their jaws too closed, perhaps because their native language is spoken through a narrower opening. When the jaw is too closed, bad, bed, and bud all start to sound the same. We need to train your jaw to open comfortably. We are going to practice the sound ah, as in father or hot. This requires a relaxed, low jaw. Say hot. Drop your jaw. Hot. Stop. Father. Now contrast that with the vowel in cat or apple. This is a flat, ugly sound where the jaw is open and the corners of the mouth pull back. Cat. Apple. Now let's look at the most important sound in the entire English language, the schwa. The schwa is a tiny, relaxed sound, like a grunt. It sounds like It is the sound of a relaxed mouth. In English, we stress some syllables and we completely relax others. The relaxed ones turn into schwa. For example, look at the word banana. We don't say banana, we say banana. The first and last syllables are weak. Let's practice relaxing your mouth for the schwa. Banana. Computer. Today. Notice we don't say today, we say today. Mastering this contrast between the big open vowels, hot, cat, and the tiny relaxed vowels, banana, today, is the secret to English rhythm. Now, let's step up the difficulty with our fifth module, resistance training using the pen trick. This is a technique used by Hollywood actors, news anchors, and public speakers to improve articulation. It works on the principle of resistance. If you run with weights on your ankles, when you take them off, you feel light and fast. We are going to do the same for your tongue. I want you to find a pen or a pencil. Make sure it is clean. Place it horizontally between your teeth and bite down gently. You don't need to bite hard, just hold it there. Now, your tongue has an obstacle. It has to work twice as hard to move around that pen to make sounds. We are going to say a very difficult sentence while holding the pen. The sentence is, Rory the warrior and Roger the worrier were reared wrongly in a rural brewery. This sentence is a nightmare for the R and W sounds. Put the pen in your mouth. I know it looks funny, but trust the process. Try to say rural brewery around the pen. Push your tongue to work. Rural brewery. Now take the pen out. Swallow, relax your jaw, and say rural brewery again. Rural brewery. Do you feel that? It feels effortless. Your tongue feels lighter. Let's try the whole sentence now, without the pen, enjoying that new freedom. Rory the warrior and Roger the worrier were reared wrongly in a rural brewery. Use this pen trick whenever you have a presentation or a difficult phone call. Do it for 2 minutes beforehand, and your articulation will be incredibly crisp. Our 6th module is about flow, connected speech. We have trained individual sounds, but real English flows like a river. We don't speak word by word. We speak in sound chains. When one word ends in a consonant and the next begins with a vowel, we link them together. Look at the phrase, turn it on. A robot says, turn it on. A native speaker says, Turnitin. The N moves over to the I, and the T moves over to the O. It becomes one long word. Let's practice this linking. Don't stop your breath between words. Turn it on. Wake up. Pick it up. Let's try a longer sentence. I am going to eat an apple. Native speakers say, I'm gonna eat a napple. Repeat after me, focusing on the flow. I'm gonna eat an apple. This linking is why native speakers can sound so fast. They aren't actually speaking faster, they are just removing the pauses between words. By training your mouth to link, you improve your listening skills too, because you start to recognize these chunks of sound. We have covered so much ground today. We have learned to vibrate our vocal cords, slide our tongues for the TH, explode our plosives, drop our jaws for vowels, and link our words for flow. Now I want to bring this all together into a comprehensive, extended shadowing session. Shadowing is the ultimate workout. As we discussed, I want you to speak with me simultaneously. Do not wait for me to finish. We are going to shadow a short narrative paragraph. I will read it slowly first and then at natural speed. I want you to mimic my emotion, my pauses, and my melody. The text is about the journey of learning. Ready? Let's go slowly first. Learning a language is not just about memorizing words. It is about finding a new voice and a new identity. When we speak, we are painting a picture of who we are. Now, let's do it at natural speed. Speak right on top of my voice. Learning a language is not just about memorizing words. It is about finding a new voice and a new identity. When we speak, we are painting a picture of who we are. Let's do one more sentence. Every mistake you make is simply proof that you are pushing your boundaries and growing stronger. And again, natural speed with feeling. Every mistake you make is simply proof that you are pushing your boundaries and growing stronger. Excellent work. You should feel a little bit tired. Your facial muscles have done a real workout today. To ensure you keep this progress, I want to give you a robust, expanded daily training plan. You can't just do this once and expect to be fluent. You need to show up for your mouth gym every day. Here is a 15-minute routine that fits into any schedule. For the first 3 minutes, focus on your warm-up. Do the lip trills, the big jaw stretches, and the tongue circles. Do not skip this part because it prevents strain and prepares the voice. For the next 3 minutes, move to your technical drill. Pick one difficult sound. Maybe it is the V versus W vibration check with your hand on your throat, or maybe it is the plosive paper test. Spend 2 minutes focusing on just that one mechanic. After that, spend 3 minutes on resistance training. Put a pen in your mouth and read a paragraph of a book or a news article. Then read it again without the pen. This builds raw muscle strength. Then spend 3 minutes shadowing. Put on a podcast or a YouTube video, just like this one, and shadow for 3 minutes. Focus on the melody and the linking. Finally, for the last 3 minutes, do a cool down. Read something very slowly, exaggerating every vowel and consonant to stretch the muscles back out and relax the jaw. If you commit to this 15-minute routine for just 30 days, I promise you, the results will be shocking. You will find that your tongue naturally goes to the right place for the TH sound without you thinking about it. You will find that you don't get tired after speaking English for long periods. You will find that people ask you to repeat yourself much less often. That is the power of physical training. It moves the effort from your brain to your muscles, leaving your mind free to focus on what you want to say, rather than how to say it. I want to challenge you this week to adopt this mindset. Stop thinking of English only as a mental puzzle to be solved, and start treating it as a physical skill to be mastered by your body. Be an athlete of the language. Thank you so much for dedicating this time to yourself and your fluency today. I hope you feel energized, maybe a little bit sore in a good way, and ready to take your speaking to the next level. If you found this masterclass helpful, share this with your fellow English learners who need a breakthrough, and leave a comment below telling me which exercise, the hand on throat, the paper test, or the pen trick, was the most helpful for you. I always love reading about your progress. Keep practicing, keep moving that mouth, and remember, fluency is a muscle, so keep training it. I will see you in the next episode.